area, for example, let's say in Pasir Ris or this kind of Canberra, this kind of very specific areas, right? Normally, what you will get are people who are going to stay around the area who will buy into the area. Okay, for a few examples, right, will be things like even in the Jurong area, like Lakeview, Lake Grande, all these, right? More than 90% are actually bought by people staying in that particular area because it's a sense of they're familiar with the area and all that. So it is easier for them to buy into that, correct? So what I want to do for you, right, is that when you all go and do door knocking in those particular areas, right? Normally when you all do door knock, how you all door knock? You all go to a particular block. Okay, let's say block 1, 2, 3. Then you'll go all the way up to the highest floor. No, not all the way down to the first floor. Correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. You're knock like that. Correct? So along the way, right, you will knock until a lot of doors that gives you rejection. Let's say the first 20 doors all reject you. Okay, the first 20 doors all reject you. Your mood suddenly will just turn down. Even though you start very positive and everything, the first 20 doors reject you, right? You will just tell yourself, say, maybe today bad luck lah. Maybe I try again tomorrow. Then things drag on, then end up this whole thing become like nothing anymore. Correct. So today, right, I want to use Prospector to help you all to do more targeted door knocking. Meaning to say, right, when you knock the door, you know that this person MOP already complete, number one, and is making a certain amount of profit in order for you to go and convince them to go and sell and buy into your idea of upgrading to a project or even to a resale or whatsoever. Okay, so how do I do that? I simply click on Prospector. See, this is the app. Okay, I click on Prospector. So from here, right, let's say today you are going to do prospecting in the Pasir Ris area. Okay, because of the Pasir Ris 8 lah. Okay, so you can either search by a number of things. You can search by HDB estate. You can search by MRT. If you feel that people who stay within the MRT and Pasir Ris 8 is so near the MRT, they are willing to move there. Also, there are a lot of ways that you can search lah. Okay, so the more generic way will be to search by HDB estate. Okay, so today, right, I want you all to tell me, besides Pasir Ris, what are the other areas do you think people who will be willing to buy the Pasir Ris one?
Maybe Tampines.
Maybe Tampines, correct. I think Tampines is also very near. Okay, so you can select multiple. Okay, Loyang is under Tampines, should be under Tampines HDB estate. Okay, because this one all is HDB estate. Okay, so maybe you can select a lot, but let's say I just want to show you Pasir Ris and Tampines, 2 examples will do. Okay, so from here, right, you will do a filter. Okay, so you're looking for, let's say you want to do door knocking, like HDB upgraders, correct? So the next step, right, will be this SSD MOP status. You can either choose completed, meaning to say, right, these HDB units that I showed to you will be those that already completed their MOP. Okay, or you can choose 6 months to go. 6 months to go, meaning to say they still have another 6 months to go before they achieve their MOP, or 1 month to go, or whatsoever also can. Okay, so let's say we want to do completed, meaning to say today you knock their door, today they can sell already. Okay, so number of units, year of completion, normally we leave it as any. Okay, gain percentage, we change it to all. So this will be the more interesting part. This will be the gain amount. So I want to ask you a question today, right? How much do you think a person staying in Pasir Ris or Tampines, okay, how much should they make on their house before you can convince them to move to Pasir Ris 8, to maybe buy into Pasir Ris 8 this idea? How much do you think their house should make? Because you
to 200.
Correct, because you don't want to look for those who are, let's say, negative sale, or maybe make 30K. You think you can convince them? Very difficult, because after paying the interest and everything, not much is left, ma. Okay, so 100 to 200. Okay, so let's say we put in 120,000 now. Can? Okay, so 120,000, then we continue to resolve. So for the whole of Tampines and Pasir Ris, right, out of so many HDB units, you all know how many HDB units in Tampines alone or not? Correct. So out of this whole area, right, I already filtered down to 3,278 prospects for you. That number one already MOP complete, and number two is making at least 120,000 on their property. All right. So the first thing first, right? When you see on this page, right, this will be filtered by the latest MOP date. So this 219 Pasir Ris Street 21, unit number 110-162. He just completed his MOP just probably two weeks ago only, this person, and he's making about 190K. Okay, so the next question will be this: how do we derive this 190K estimated gain? Okay, you see this I beside, right? You just click on the I. Okay, you will see that based on these transactions that happen nearby within a 500-meter radius, 500-meter to 1 kilometer radius. Okay, we base on these transactions over the last 18 months to give you an estimated price. Okay, so this estimated price, right, it will not be more than or less than 5 to 10% off. Okay, so 190K, maybe he make 180, maybe he make 200, about that one. Okay, so it will not be very, very off on this pricing. Okay, so it's very safe to know that they are in fact making this amount of money lah. Okay, so another thing that we can do from here, right, is to sort by gain. So once we sort by gain, right, you can see that this 825 Tampines Street 81, he is making 519,000 on his property right now. Okay, this 04-60. So is this somebody that you all can target and convince him to cash out and go and buy condo or not? I believe definitely can now. With 500,000 gain, he bought at 300,000. He now can estimated sell about 845K.
Wow.
So can this person buy condo or not? I tell you, sure can one.
Well, then
with
47 of us are all today go and knock this door already.
Correct. So this one, right, is really fastest fingers first one. To be honest, a lot of things are like that one. Okay, so whoever is ready to go and knock the door, whoever ready with a sales pitch, right, whoever can get this particular unit one to go and convince them. Oh, okay. So let's say today you go to 825 Tampines Street 81. Since you're there, you might as well you want to try door knocking there. Correct. So we can just click on the arrow here. You will see actually the whole tower view of this block 825 Tampines Street 81. Okay. So all these units do you think you can knock or not? All these likely BTO units you can knock. I tell you definitely can. This BTO TOP in 1987 these people, I tell you, definitely make even more than the 500K one. Okay, so all these BTO units, if you are able to so you don't need to worry. There's not only one transaction only. You see, if you go to the blog, right, there are so many transactions, and all of these all make money one for sure one. Oh, so you see here, let's say you knock until this one 0470. This one MOP in 3 years. You want to knock or not? This one, should you knock this door in 3 years time? Don't need to knock, correct? No, you knock, then 3 years later, then he can sell. Then a bit too far this prospect. Oh, so these are the things that we can actually do. So you can just look at the tower view here. Okay, let me just show you something. Wait. Okay. So this one, sometimes, right, we will see some units MOP already ended. Okay, let's say this one MOP end. I give you an example. This 09166. MOP already ended. And the market price, right, he is losing about 42,000. Should this kind of people, should you go and contact them? This kind of units?
Better don't.
No, better don't.
Yeah.
You or should you not? Okay, so you think that you shouldn't contact, correct? So other people, right, they will go and contact. They will go and knock. They will go and tell them, they will try and convince them that don't lose any more money. You sell now. I bring you go and buy something else. Don't lose anymore.
Cut loss.
Don't lose. Cut loss and run. You see, so there are a lot of ways to go and think of how to go and target this kind of people. Okay, so let's say today you only want to target all this make money one. Can you all come out with an even better script to go and talk to these people instead of the very generic? Because today, if you don't have all this data, right, today if you go to a particular block, you go to the highest floor, you knock down. The first door you knock, the pitch that you give them, right, will be the same throughout the whole block. I believe so. Correct or not? Correct or not? It's fixed one. You knock, you tell them, say, hey, hello, I'm from who and who, from where? Hey, have you ever thought of this, blah, 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 blah. Correct. Until he expressed interest, then you go in depth to go and calculate his house, his loan and everything, correct? But today, right, if you are knocking all these houses that you know make easily 300,000, 200,000 one, can you straight away knock and give them a different kind of pitch to straight away draw them in or not? Instead of doing the very generic ones. Can, right? So these are the things that you all can do. So prospecting, a lot of people think that, this thing, door knocking is a very dead thing. You just follow the script, you just knock, then you just see lucky or unlucky. See whether they express interest, they're in a good mood, then you straight away go in. But no, it's not true. In order to get them to show interest in whatever you're presenting, right, you need a very different kind of speech. Like just now, somebody mentioned already, there is 825, a lot of people knock. Correct? If 10 people knock, 10% all give the same pitch. If you're the 11th person to tell them something different, would they be more inclined to listen to you? They definitely will, correct? So there are a lot of things, right, that I can give you the data. I can show you what are the units that make money, MOP complete. But end of the day, right, how to come up with a speech, how to really go and do, right, is that thing is really up to your creativity really sometimes. So, but nevertheless, end of the day, right, I still provide you with the data. So at least this is a start, right, to tell you how to go and target these people. Okay, so this is Tampines and Pasir Ris. So let's say if you want to do for, let's say Canberra, right? Canberra will be slightly different. Okay, so Canberra, maybe we can go to other districts. Okay, so maybe HDB estate, we can look for maybe Sembawang, Yishun.
Yeah,
Sembawang and Yishun.
Woodlands.
Sembawang, Yishun, Woodlands. If you include Woodlands, okay, can. So these three. Okay, yeah. So the same thing. Okay, we just select HDB. Okay, SSD MOP status completed, same. Then the gain, right, maybe we want to, because this one is a larger area. So if we really want to narrow down, maybe we can go slightly higher. So let's say 150,000. I think this one will be quite a fair bit. Oh no, actually Woodland, Sembawang, Yishun, right, only got 2,255 prospects that make at least 150,000 on their property. So same, this one will be filtered by gain. So 652 Yishun Avenue 4, this person in particular making 434,000 on his Yishun property. Yeah, so same, you can also go to the tower view. Okay, so you can see this is a tower view. Yeah, so like this one, this is what I was mentioning, 09511. MOP completed, can sell now, but losing money. Losing market price, not much about 9,000 plus, $9,000. But after paying accrue and everything, maybe will lose . So these people, right, also can go and target them with a different kind of pitch . So whoever people that you meet, right, you must have a different kind of pitch to go and pitch to them. Okay, so this is the HDB example. Correct. So for you to go and
sorry, Clemens, I mute you because I mute all, got noise. You have to unmute yourself, Clement. Clement?
Yes, sorry. Yes.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you can.
Can, no problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so right, this one, right. Wait, Okay, so this one, right, you can also see the tower view. Then you can actually go and do door knocking on this particular one. No? So those that you want to skip, you feel that it's not good, you can skip. But at least when the person open the door, right, for that 5 to 10 seconds that that person gives you, right, make sure that something is enough to attract him to listen to you further, instead of doing the very usual stuff. Like you know that this person made 300,000 on his property. Straight away he opened the door, straight away he say, hey uncle, you know that your house made at least 200,000 or not? You know or not? You straight away, like, start a conversation like that, because you know that you will not be very far off one. Because if we can show that he made 300,000, right, he definitely make at least 250 at the very least. So you don't need to worry, you can just say, you know what I mean? So these are the things that some of the agents, they share me, the things that they do when they're using this prospector to go and do door knocking. Okay, so this will be the HDB example. Anybody to do door knocking? Anybody got any questions? Before I move on to the next, which is the condo example. Wait, let me just check whether.
If you have a question, you can actually unmute yourself to ask, because this is very useful for our door knocking. If you are in our door knocking chat room, this might help you very much in shortening the time on door knocking. So you don't need to go every single door to knock. So you can actually select which are the house that you want to knock.
Okay.
Clement, can I ask? Sorry.
Yeah,
Clement,
go ahead.
Can I ask, if let's say we tell the prospect that, hey, do you know that you will profit 400,000? Then you ask you where you got my info from.
Actually, all this info, right, is all public info one. You know what I mean? So
okay.
if they really ask you, right, you say, oh, actually, I got do research for you, really. I got do research for everybody in this surrounding. So you make out yourself present to be like I'm a very expert in this area kind of thing So he will be more inclined. But the fact that he asks you, say, hey, how you know? So this is a way in already. The fact that he asks you this thing, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's something very positive. Yep.
Okay, understand. Thank you.
Yep. Just now somebody have another question?
Yeah, Clement, able to list out blocks that is going to reach MOP, that means 4.5 years.
I can list out for you. So how do I go, right? It's under prospector. We can search all MOP blocks. You see this option here? Search all MOP blocks. Okay. So these are all the MOP blocks that are going to happen this year. But the exact date we don't have, because HDB, the units, they are sold at different dates. So sometimes the dates also different. So we only have a very generic date. Yeah. We only know that it's going to happen this year, but the dates we don't know exactly.
Month also don't have lah.
Month also don't have. I don't think have. Month also don't have. No, no. Don't have.
Okay, thanks.
But these are the MOP info lah. These are the blocks that are going to MOP lah this year. You look at 2016 one. These are all 2016. Okay, so if nobody got any further questions, next I want to move on to the condo example. So condo, right? What you all normally do is that because cannot door knock, so what you all will do is to do mailer. Correct. I'm not sure whether any of you do mailer here before, but normally when you do mailer, right, you will just go walk into SingPost. You will just tell them, say, okay, I want to throw, let's say, these 2 particular condo. I need to throw all the units. Correct. Because there's no way for you to know. You don't want to miss out, You don't want to miss out on people potentially who will respond to your ads. Correct. So you just maybe throw the whole particular condo. Let's say 500 units. You say, okay, I throw all 500. Correct. So this is typically how you go and throw mailers. Correct. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is typically how you do. Correct. So today, right, what if I can tell you that prospector can do the same thing, but at the same time, right, it is able to filter for you which are the units that number 1 already SSD completed, so that you don't go and throw those just move in one, left 2 years to SSD, waste of flyer, correct. Each flyer, smelly, also cost you 70-80 cents, correct, with all the stamp and all the everything, with all the artwork and everything, correct. So don't waste your money, correct. So what if I tell you that I can filter for your SSD complete and it's making a certain amount of profit on their condo? Okay, so you only throw to this particular group of people. Okay, so how do I do it? So let's say today, let me go to district. Okay, so let's say we are looking to do Pasir Ris 8. So you want to inform people staying in the area that Pasir Ris 8 is a new launch that's going to happen in Pasir Ris, things like that. Okay, so we go to Pasir Ris. Pasir Ris is what? Okay, D18.
18.
Okay, so we go to D18. Okay, we press done. So same thing, you need to put in the filters, but this time, right, we put condo. Okay, after the SSD MOP status, we put completed all, meaning to say their SSD already complete as of today. Okay, or you want to do future prospecting also can, up to you. Okay, number of units of completion, we leave as any, gain percentage, again, we put as all. So this will be the gain amount. So gain amount, right, how much do you think a condo unit should make before you want to throw ad mail to them? 200,000 enough? Enough, right? 200,000 definitely enough, right? Okay, so 200,000 maximum, the more the merrier. Then we continue to result. So the whole of D18, right? I filtered down until 5,779 prospects for you. That number 1, already SSD completed. That means they can sell right now. And number 2, they are making at least 200,000 on their property. Okay, so if you think that 5,000, I think somebody opened their
2 devices or something.
Yeah. Okay, never mind.
Let me meet them.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, give me a minute. I mute.
Okay.
You have to unmute yourself, Clement. You have to unmute yourself, Clement.
Yeah. Ready. Okay. So today, right, let's say you don't have any idea. You don't have this prospector. You don't know what is prospector. I just want to give you a sense of how many you are looking at. How much prospects you are looking at. Let's say I filter away all these. Okay, completed is 17,000. Okay, plus the not completed ones, because you don't know which one completes, 17,000 plus 6,000. So there are 23,000 condo units in D18. I filtered down to how many for you? I filtered down to 478 prospects for you. That that completed. 5,779 prospects that completed and is making at least 200,000 on their property. Okay, so when you throw mail, right, today, right, if instead of throwing 5,000, right, you only need to throw half, because the other half either never make enough, okay, or SSD haven't complete. I already save you half the cost already. So out of 5,000, right, I already save you like something like $2,000 already. Correct? I already save you $2,000, because if not, right, you will just throw blindly. Then you throw to these people, SSD never complete, what they take already, straight away throw away. Or you throw to those people, right? Worse, you throw to those people that losing money, then they call you, waste a lot of your time. End of the day, you're very difficult to close them. Correct? So there are a lot of things that you can do with this. Okay. So from here, right, there are 2 things that you can do. Number 1, actually export the mailing label and spreadsheet. Okay, so when you press this button, right, we will actually send the mailing labels so that you can DIY, meaning to say, right, you can go Popular, buy the sticker lah, then you DIY yourself, you print, you put in envelope, you stick, and you send out yourself. Or if not, right, we actually prepare a spreadsheet for you. So this spreadsheet, right, you can bring it to whoever is doing the flyers for you. You just tell them, say, hey, I only want to send to these addresses. That means all these 5,000 addresses. Of course, if you think 5,000 is too much, you can further filter down lah, by price and everything lah. So that is something that you can do as well. Okay, so yes.
Sorry, how can I like filter those like the tenanted? That means I do not want to send to the house that is currently tenanted, so that I save more mailing labels.
That one, for our site unable to.
Okay.
Our here cannot. Only analyzer can. But analyzer is another topic for another day lah. Yeah, but that one, the costing and this costing, right? Today, I'm trying to showcase to you a very cheap and efficient way of doing. Analyzer is a totally different cost altogether lah. So this part don't have the tenanted and non-tenanted one.
Okay, thanks.
So you only can throw to these people.
Okay, today we are doing prospecting using their 99.co. For the NRX analyzer, we will do it another day, or else it will be too heavy for us to absorb.
Correct.
Okay, can carry on, Clement.
Okay, so this is how we can actually use the prospector to either do door knocking, number one, or you want to do a more efficient ad mail. Okay, so another thing that we can do with prospector, right, is that you can straight away key in the project. So let's say today you already have a few projects in mind that you want to throw. So let's say we do the quotes, for example lah. Okay, so the quotes, right, total, right, there are about, let's say we don't put anything. Okay, so 490 plus 44, so about 550 units in total lah, 550 units in total. So let's say if I filter for you, you only want to see those that make 200,000 and above. Okay, you will see there's only 329. So each time you throw, right, you save about 150 odd mailers. Okay, you save about 150 odd mailers because you don't throw to those SSD not complete and making less than 200,000 one. Okay, so you are actually saving a lot of money in the long run lah. If throwing mailer is something that you're looking into lah, or if you want to throw one time but you want to throw a very big scale one, like you prepare a $5,000 budget, $4,000 budget, you have to use this prospector to filter down for you first before you really go and throw. If not, right, you're really wasting a lot of money. So this one you can do for a HDB estate lah. You can even do for individual projects like this as well. So individual projects like this, right, you also can see the tower view. Okay, you can actually see all the tower view, who is actually making money, who is not making money. Then all the transaction data is also here. Okay, so you can actually click on this sort 3 times. Okay, you can see what is the past transaction. So you see this is the first owner. First owner buy 600,000, sell off at 895. Wow, make a very handsome profit of about close to 300,000. Close to 300,000. Then even though the second owner buy at 300,000 deficit, right, he still managed to flip and sell for another 200,000 profit, plus minus about there. So this is another way that you can show how new launch can make money as well. Okay, so let me just go to a friend of mine, his unit. His unit is staying the quartz lah. Okay, so let's see. He's staying in 51. Yep. So this is his unit. So you see, the first owner sold him at a profit of almost 400,000. Almost 400,000, correct? Oh, no, almost 500,000, in fact, 600 to 1.1. Okay, so almost 500,000 profit. Then from here, right, he end up he make a loss lah because he buy too late lah. Because he buy too late. Okay, so this is another way that you can show using condos around the area, right, of the new launch that you're selling. Show them using prospector, go and show them how much are the people making. Okay, because usually, right, the first time owner sure make money one. They buy at launch, sell after TOP, sure make money one. Everybody, all of us know that, correct? But today, right, how to really go and drill into them this concept, right, is to use this tower view. Also, you can use it to show them. So we see make money, still make money, all the way money one throughout all 4 times. Not a lot, but still make. So if you want to see those make a lot one, right, you can actually see this kind of also make a lot of money, man. Also, this is how you can convince them to buy a launch, buy a new launch, buy a new launch, buy a new launch. Okay, so this is prospector for you. Anybody got any questions before I move on from this prospector?
I have one question. So sometimes when we look at the tower view, like
Correct.
certain units are blank one. I don't know if you ever come across.
For example, this one, 1334.
Yeah, why?
Okay, so there are a number of reasons. The first reason, right, that sometimes you see blank, right, sometimes, right, is the block, the design. This particular floor is like maybe roof garden. So don't have these units. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that is one possible
I know there's
reason.
a certain unit there one. So what is wrong with this
If you
unit?
know for a fact that there's a unit there, so number two, right, will be that they pay in cash, they pay in full cash, never take installment. So don't need to lodge caveat. Okay. Number three, there's another reason would be that if the TOP date of this particular project, right, is before 1999, okay, also may not have data. Why? Because lodging of caveat, right, was only compulsory after 1999. So those people who buy before 1999, they may choose not to lodge caveat because it was not a rule back then. So these are the few reasons that if you see sometimes, right, there's no data. Like this one.
Because I just come
1334.
across one is using loan to pay.
Okay.
Then it is not a very old, it's a 7-year-old EC lah. So I cannot find anything one. So how come no caveat one? So don't know why.
EC, I tell you what, maybe we take it offline. Later after this sharing, you contact me. I can do some checks for you.
Okay.
Oh, no problem.
Thanks.
Clement, Reina has a question. Can you segment Malay, Chinese, Indian owners?
Oh, cannot. We don't have this function.
Okay.
Unable to see.
The next question
for
from
race.
Daisy is, Daisy says that can do landed property, can prospector see the name of the owner?
Okay, so for name of the owner, right, there is nowhere you can see one because name is under PDPA, name and contact number. Only address and transaction we are able to see. So for landed property, right, Daisy, if you want to do landed property prospecting, you can. But the thing is landed, right? Because, right, let me go back to prospector, right? Then you will know what I mean. Okay, so for, let's say for this particular unit, right, we are basing on units that are inside this development, correct? To give you an estimated price. So it's accurate. But for landed, right, if you were going to take the surrounding, right, some of these landed, right, some are 2-story high, some are 1 floor, some are 3-story. So the estimated gain that you get, right, it will not be accurate at all. It will not be accurate at all. So I would suggest to you not to go and do prospecting with prospector using this prospector to go and do landed. That would be my concern because the estimated price may not be accurate. But if you are looking to get addresses, right, this one can. You can use this to get addresses, then you can send out to them. But anyway, landed enclave, right, also not a lot of units. So if you want to throw to the whole landed enclave, right, I think it is still not so expensive. You are still able to throw all. So you don't have to filter down by gain and not gain. So I think that would be more ideal. Okay, so just now for these condos, the mailers, right, if you know for a fact that you are throwing to people who make at least 200,000 on their property, can your mailer be a bit more creative? Because, right, today for me, I stay HDB, but I stay in a relatively new cluster. So all the things that I receive, right, okay, I only open my mailbox once a month. Why? Because everything is done online these days. All the bills, everything all done online. So I only open once a month. Okay, so once a month when I open, right, I will receive super many different type of flyers from agents. Okay, I receive easily 10 or above inside my mailbox. Some are repeated, some are not. But at least 10 Okay, so all these 10, right, all are very fixed design one. One guy, one girl, buy, sell, rent. Then the recent transaction, call me now. So this kind of flyers, right, I would not even take a second look, to be honest with you. Why? Because I see 10 of the same design. But today, if you know for a fact that this unit make at least 200,000 as property, can you do a more attractive flyer? Things like that I see some people are doing, right? Do you know that you can upgrade to a condo? Do you know that EC is launching and you can afford it? You know, things like that to really draw them into the flyer and get them to call you. Instead of spending money, go and do generic one, then really don't waste money because like I say, I really receive 10 plus and if all the designs are the same, I really will not take a second look. But if something is something more special that tell me, say, hey, actually, do you know that you can afford a condo? Do you know that you can afford a HDB? Then, sorry, you can afford EC. Then it's something that will attract me to read further. Then from there, I can make a decision, or I want to contact you to find out more. You know, things like that. But if you don't have this prospector, right, you don't have this data, okay, you don't know which are the units that actually make money, but you need to send to all. You cannot do this kind of things. Why? Because you will attract the wrong crowd of people. So you will attract the wrong crowd of people to come in to call you. End of the day, they will complain you, they will do this, make your life miserable. Correct? But if you are sending to people who are making money, yes, you can. Why? Because you know for a fact that they definitely make this amount of money. You definitely know that they can afford to sell and move to condo. You know what I mean? So after I give you all this information, right, you all need to really go and think of the things that you can do, since that now you have this that previously you didn't have. Things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, so these are the things that you all can do lah. Okay. So this will be the prospector part of the sharing. Next, right, I want to move into the researcher part. Okay, so researcher, right, is something that we have that is only available on the web. Okay, so how do I access from the web? So I go to 99.co. Okay, make sure you're logged in at the top right hand corner. You go to these tools, okay, then you can click on researcher. Okay, so this researcher, right, basically is a tool that can help you to plot out graphs, simple graphs. Then you can help you to go and convince people, right, to go and buy into whatever they are trying to sell. So let's say today, right, you want to sell Pasir Ris 8. Okay, for example, Pasir Ris 8. From step 1, right, you need to convince them why they should go and buy condo. Correct? Then why buy into Pasir Ris? Then why buy into Pasir Ris 8, this particular area? You know, so it's step by step one. Because today, right, a very common question that consumers and buyers have, right, will be things like, hey, why should I go and buy a condo over HDB? Right? HDB is so much cheaper, number one. HDB has lower maintenance. Then actually save what 99 years. If I buy a 99 years condo, which is what Pasir Ris 8 and the WaterGardens is. Correct. So for what? Why spend so much money to go and buy a condo? So you want to tell them that, hey, condo actually have a higher growth. You know, you can make money buying condo, but if you go and buy a resale HDB, right, you may not necessarily make as much. Or you even lose money. Most of the time you lose money, correct? But today, right, nowadays, the buyers, right, they're very savvy. So today, if you just want to tell them using words like that, they may find hard to believe you, or you may find very hard to convince them. Okay, so I want to use this researcher, okay, to help you to go and convince your buyers, right, to go and buy into a condo over HDB. Okay, so how do I do that? First, I want to show them the growth of HDB over the past certain number of years. Okay, so how do I do that? I go to add new segment. I go to location. Okay, so I go to Singapore, because why? I want to show them the whole Singapore. So I need to click in Singapore. I select Singapore city. Okay, I press next. This will be the filter page. This one will determine what will show up. So if I select HDB, okay, then from here, right, I just, let's say if you want to see only a 3-room flat or want to see 4-room flat, you can. But let's say I want to show them overall the HDB growth in Singapore. Okay, I get result. So from here straight away, you can see this is the growth of HDB over the past 15 years, 06 to 2021. Okay, you can change the time frame here, 15, 10, 5, up to you. But let's say I want to show them 15 years. Okay, so I just want to do a very simple, I want to draw a very simple graph for you. Okay, when it goes up, I go up. When it goes down, I go down. When it goes up, I go up. Very simple. Okay, this one is the upward trend, upward trend again. Okay, so we can see from this graph very clearly, we can see HDB prices, right, climbed by 101% all the way until 2013. You'll see below the year 2013, a sharp drop came in because a cooling measure came in. Anybody know what's a cooling measure that came in during 2013 for HDB? For HDB, anybody?
MSR. MSR.
I think it's MSR, and the more important thing, right, will be the valuation can only be done after the sale of flat. Correct. So that is the cooling measure, because government felt that the prices are getting too high. Because ultimately, right, what the government wants is that they want HDB to be for homestay. They don't want people to be flipping HDB every 5 years and making money and keep making money like that. correct? So this was always the government's direction, okay? So prices start to drop by 11% and it's still steadily dropping until 2019. What happened in 2019 that caused an increase of 13.97 until today, okay? So from what I gather from my other agents, so from 2019, right, because COVID actually hit us in 2019 towards the end. So a lot of people, right, they started to being forced to work from home and things like that, correct? So when this kind of thing started, right, when work from home, this phase started, okay, a lot of people who were staying in those, let's say, 2-room condo, okay, they started to need more space because both husband and wife both need to work from home, correct? So they find that, wow, this two-room flat really not enough space for me to stay in, okay? So what happened? They go and sell off their condo, okay, and they want to move to HDB. So when HDB demand go up, prices naturally go up. So even until today, right, you are hearing a lot of those COV 50,000 or 80,000, things like that. You agree with me? Correct, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So this was what happened. So this graph very accurately tells you what is going on. Okay. So you can actually show this graph to your client, tell them, say, hey, this is HDB for you. So if you ask me, you are buying something now at the highest point. Over the past 15 years now at the highest point. You want to buy something at the highest point? And over these past 15 years, right, only got 2 high points. Okay, one in 2013, one in 2021. So in the next 5 years, do you think that this graph will continue to go up? I don't think so. I think this is where the prices start to decline like 2013. Why? Because ultimately, like just now you mentioned, government want HDB to be homestay. They don't want it to be something like, wow, I can just keep flipping for money. Correct? So prices will start to drop from here. Definitely will start to drop. So if you want to buy a HDB, yes, you definitely can. You're buying number one at highest point. And number two, you are buying something that is most likely going to depreciate. Okay, so these are the two things that if you are going to buy a HDB. Okay, so that is something. So conversely, on the other side of the coin, you can use this same exact graph to go and convince a HDB seller to sell. Correct? You can convince a HDB seller to sell. Why? Because you can tell them, say, hey, in the past 2 years, HDB on average gained about 14% already. Now it's at the highest point ever, the highest ever point in the past 15 years already. If you want to sell now and upgrade to a condo, right now is the time to do so. Now is definitely the time to do so. Why? Because now you're selling away your property, right, at the highest point. Correct? So this is something that you can, again, use to go and tell them to sell off their HDB and go and upgrade to condo, buy new launch, or do whatever they want them to do. Agree with me? Agree, right? Okay. So the next thing that I want to show you would be.
Hang on. Can you
Yes.
repeat the steps? So you go to research, add new segment, and then?
Can. Okay, wait. Let me just restart everything for you. Show you again. Okay. So under researcher, okay, I go to add new segment. I go to add location.
Add location.
Correct. Then I go to Singapore. Okay, because I want to show them Singapore. But let's say if you want to show them district, right, you just need to show district. So let's say D15, for example. Then you can just put D15. That means I only show D15, but I want to show them the whole Singapore HDB growth. So I select Singapore. Select the drop down, remember? Go to next. Then I go to HDB.
Okay.
If you have any filter, you can fill in here. If not, you get result. Then you straight away the graph will come up.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So now that I have the graph for HDB ready, next I want to show them would be condo. Okay, I go to add location. Same thing, I key in Singapore. Okay, I name this Singapore condo so that like I know this graph is condo. Okay, now I select condo. Okay, I select 99-year so that it's an apple-to-apple comparison. I'm comparing HDB a 99-year product to condo a 99-year product. Okay, so we always, when we make comparison, right, we try to compare the same things together. We don't want to compare condos in general. That means to include all the freehold one, because freehold got a lot of intangible things inside, elements inside. Okay, so we continue to result. So on the same graph, right, I can show you the condo graph. Okay, so how to draw? You click on the pencil here. Okay, you will see all these dots populate out. Okay, so condo, I want to do the same thing for condo. Okay, I just want to draw. When it's up, I draw up. When it's down, I draw down. Same, just like the HDB one. Okay. Okay, wait, this one is a bit off. Okay, so wait, this one still make money. Okay, so this is for the same period of time, right? This was actually the condo graph. Okay, so condo, right? How do we infer? How do we read this graph? Very simple. Okay, so from 06, right, increased by 21%. After which prices dropped by 11%. Okay, after which rebounded. So I think in 07 to 09, Asia financial crisis hit us. Is it Asia financial crisis or Lehman? I can't really remember, but some crisis hit us lah. So prices of the condos start to drop 11%. Okay, after they drop, right, it rebounded. Okay, market adjusts itself, rebound by 60%. Okay, then in 2013, introduction of ABSD to the market was introduced. Okay, so prices start to drop by 5.8% again. Correct. Then prices start to increase by 25. Okay, from 09, it actually fell a bit to 2020 because why? Of the COVID effect. Remember just now when we mentioned about the HDB, when I told you that people are selling off their condo to go and buy HDB. So when the condo, the supply went very high, right, prices start to drop. Okay, so now you can see from here, right, it's actually on a rebound phase lah. Okay, so now, right, it's actually increasing by 0.29. Okay, after a dip lah. So today, using the same graph, right, you can tell your client that in the same time frame, right, condo actually have so many high point during these 15 years. If I just by looking at that, right, there's 1, 2, 3, there's 4 high points in this past 15 years compared to HDB, right, only got 2. And condo, right, you can see, right, every time there is a drop, something happened that caused a drop, regardless is it financial crisis, regardless is it ABSD introduced to cool the market, you will see that the market rebound in a very good fashion, 21%, 60%, 25%, now still recovering about another 0.29%. So it's still recovering. So today, right, if you have to sell off your HDB at one of the highest point, okay, and go and buy a condo, which is just starting to make 0.29%, as you can see from here, do you think it's a good option for you? I tell you, definitely a lot of people will agree with you, correct? So this is how you really go and use researcher, right, to go and bring your point across lah. So let me see, let me just remove this one. Yeah, so from here, right, what we can do is also we can do the full range. So condo, right, make about 117% over the past 15 years. So what we can do with this graph is that number one, you can actually export. You see this export button over here? Okay, when you click on export, okay, you can actually view, you can actually save, you can print, or you can actually let me see, you can actually download, and you can send as email, etc. Or everything also can. No, not working. Yeah. Okay, so that is really how you use researcher to go and convince your client, right, to not go and buy a condo, not go and buy a HDB, instead go and buy a condo. Conversely, also you can use it to go and convince them to go and sell off their HDB. Okay, so this is how you can actually use this function now. All right, so you can actually download this graph, you can actually view, download, right, after which you can send to your client as well via WhatsApp or whatever you want to send to show them that you've done some research for them. All right, so on the graph, right, itself, right, you can actually do some wordings as well. So when you click on the A, okay, you will see actually there's a pop-up box here. You can say things like whatever lah, financial crisis, whatever, then you can move this box around, okay, to go and indicate to them what is going on. Okay, so these are the things that you can also do with the researcher. You can actually put notes inside the graph as well. Okay, to share the time frame is here, to change the time frame. Okay, so now I already shown you an example, right, of how to go and convince people to go and buy a condo. Okay, so after buying a condo, right, the next step that I want to show them, right, is to why buy into your particular district. Correct. So your particular district, let's say, for example, we go to a new segment, same, go to add location, we can simply just key in the district. So let's say it's district 18, correct, Pasir Ris, Tampines. Okay, we go to next, we can select condo, 99 year. Okay, we get result. So these are the results. These are the results of condos in Tampines over the past 15 years. So over the past 15 years, right, condos, wait, how come the number never come up? Yep. So condos over the past 15 years, right, make 188% in Pasir Ris, Tampines area. Okay, so this is something that you can show them that buying a condo in District 18, right, is actually very feasible. Okay, why? Because over the past few years, right, it actually made money, never lose. Give me a second. Okay, so this is how you can showcase to them why buy in this particular district. So after buying in a particular district, right, we can further showcase to them why you want to buy in Pasir Ris 8, this area. Okay, so go to add location. We simply just need to key in Pasir Ris 8. Under location, not under project. Why under location? Because it will show you within a one-click radius, how are the condos doing there? Okay, within a one-click from Pasir Ris 8, how are the condos doing there? Condo, 99 year, get result. Okay, give me a sec. Let me just reset this. Okay, Pasir Ris 8. Within one click. Condo, 99 year, get result. Okay, so this is the result of condos within a one-click radius. So you can see from here, this is the map. Okay, you see the map on the right side. So these are all the condos that we're taking into example. Okay, then I can show you how much they make over the past 15 years. They make 245% over the past 15 years. Okay, and another thing is this. What we can do, right, is that we can go back to this map. Okay, you can actually zoom in. Okay, then you can click on you can actually click on the condo itself to go and look at the rental yield. So check out the rental yield, 2.84. Not so bad. 2.9, also not so bad. 4.03, Elias Green, also good. So you see 3.09, the pallet. So all these condos, right, has very reasonable rental yield returns in this particular area. So if you are looking to buy into Pasir Ris 8, which will be a brand new condo in that particular area, you being the newest, okay, you should be able to command such kind of rental yield as well. Okay, and I believe Pasir Ris 8 also is it the nearest to the MRT one? Is it?
Yes, correct. It's
It
an
is, right?
integrated development, correct.
Correct. Some more, it's an integrated development. Okay, so rental yield, definitely you can command this kind of pricing as well. I believe so. Correct, because all these, they are not the nearest to the MRT, already making this kind of rental yield already. So yours being closest to the MRT, you can command slightly more Also, the rental yield should make up for it. Okay, even though you're buying at a higher price, so the rental yield, because you can charge more, so you should expect to come back to whatever all these people are making on their rental yield as well. Okay, so that is how you can actually derive to go and convince people to go and buy into Pasir Ris 8, this particular project. So if you are looking to do the water gardens, right, you can just put in the water gardens, but I'm not sure whether water gardens is it out here. Yeah, it's still here, same. So you can actually do the same thing. Okay, then you can do water gardens is condo,
Condo.
Is it condo? It's
condo,
condo, right?
condo.
Okay. So it's the same thing there from here. So these are the So this is the area that we are doing. Okay. Then you can actually click on it to see rental yield also. Okay, within a one-click radius. 2.9, 4.6, 3.4, 2.6, the nautical. 8 courtyard 3.44. 8 courtyard also not very old. TOP 2014. So about 6 year development. Okay, also commanding 3.44. So if you are looking to buy a condo into this area, right, this is the rental yield that you are looking to buy into. Okay, so if there's increase, you can actually show. Okay, so prices actually increase in the past 1 year by 8%. So you're already late by 1 year already. You already lose out 8%. You don't lose another 8%. Okay, so really start to buy into this thing already. So these are the things that you can say So plotting of graph is very easy. Okay, the plotting of graph is very easy. End of the day, right? You still need a very good and convincing explanation or script to go and tell your client to get them to buy into this idea. Oh, any questions so far?
Okay. That's a very good apps that we can use for prospecting right now.
Correct. And this researcher, right, is available on iPad and your laptop. iPhone cannot, phone cannot, because you need to draw graph and everything, so too small. So very handy. iPad you can settle already. Don't even need to bring a laptop out. Everything that I've done today, right? Samsung also can. You just need to go to Safari, can.
Oh, okay.
So everything that I do today with you, right, I'm actually doing on my iPad right now. That's why you see no mouse. I'm only using my iPad. So can do already.
Yeah, because
Just now-
today's session is we are getting 99.co to come and share with us whether how can we prospect using these tools, and also how to convince them to sell their existing house and buy WaterGardens at Canberra or Pasir Ris 8, right? So